Welcome to Patriot League All Access, where today we talk with Lafayette head women's lacrosse coach Alison Fisher. Coach Fisher, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. Now, what has it meant for you to have the coaching job at your alma mater?
Well, it's certainly an exciting opportunity because it is a place I'm very passionate about because I had a great experience as a student athlete. So being able to afford that, hopefully to the athletes that are here now is something that's certainly exciting. And I believe in the mission of the college and of the conference, so it's really easy when you're recruiting to sell something, a product that you believe in and that you genuinely think develops, students and athletes that can then go on and be productive in their careers and in the community. So it's an easy place to work in a lot of ways because you know that what the student athletes are getting in terms of experience is a really quality thing.
Now, Anna White obviously had a huge freshman year named Patriot League Rookie of the Year. Was that something you thought she had the potential for coming in, and what are your expectations for her this season?
We absolutely thought that Anna had the potential to be the Rookie of the Year. We told her that in recruiting, and it was certainly something that she was focused on every day last year. It put a lot of pressure on her, but we thought she handled it very well. She is someone that has changed the intensity of our team in a really positive way. She's very driven to not only make herself the best player that she can be, but the people around her. She wants certainly to raise their level as well. Sophomore year is hard, especially after you've had a freshman year like she did, and we're trying to manage her expectations and find realistic ways for her to improve her game without, over-expecting, because I think that's where a lot of sophomores struggle because they want to be seniors, but they're not quite seniors yet. So their game's not complete, which clearly we don't want her game to be complete by the end of this year. But we've set some goals for her in terms of maintaining her dominance on the draw, but also improving some of her offensive statistics specifically so that she has some manageable goals to work towards. And she's a very special person in mentality, but obviously, just looking at her, she certainly has great athletic potential. So we're excited that she's here. She's very bought into rebuilding the Lafayette tradition, and that's exciting for us because we can really lean on her, even as a young player, to really shoulder some of the load.
Now, in addition to Anna, you have most of your top players back from last season. How can those players build on the experience they gained last year?
Well, we have all of our top players back, actually. We graduated 3 seniors last year, and most of them, the 3 of them were in supporting roles. Lauren Brown was actually injured for the majority of the year, so she had been a pretty big mainstay in our starting lineup, but last year she had a really horrific ankle sprain that kept her out for over half the year. So our seniors limped through their final year a little bit last year, so it did give the underclassmen a lot of opportunity to play and gain experience. We were pretty sloppy last year as a team. Our discipline was a little questionable. Our decision-making was a little questionable. So we're trying to build on playing, a more disciplined game where we focus on, maintaining possession and obviously looking to finish with goals instead of turnovers. So I think that the biggest thing for us this year is we have to mature in our mentality. We have to recognize situations better. We have to manage the game better on the field, and I think we'll do that naturally because we're a year older. But I also think that it has to be a focus, in our preseason to make sure that we structure things to put them in situations where they have to make decisions and read what's in front of them. Because last year we were crawling in the dark a little bit just because surviving each game as a young team was a challenge in and of itself. So now we really have to make sure that we master each situation so that we can come out with the advantage.
And now, how has the Patriot League evolved in your time from when you were a player to where it is now?
Well, it's evolved, I think, significantly overall. I think the level of play is tremendously better than it was even when I started here in the 2009 season. Resourcing at each institution has certainly changed things. Navy adding to the conference has made a big impact, clearly, since they've won the last 2 championships. It is a conference where there's a lot of parity and programs rise and fall. I mean, when I was a student athlete, Lafayette was in a very different place, and now we're, fighting to get back into the tournament, into the postseason tournament. So, that's clearly a different experience for me personally. But I do think that the league overall has begun to embrace the game on a national level. Clearly, Cindy brings an amazing amount of national level experience with her national championships at Maryland, and each team plays someone in the top 10, which is amazing, and some play multiple people in the top 10 and the top 25. So I think we've started to take ourselves more seriously as a lacrosse conference and understand that we can certainly have an impact, especially in this sport and the size of this sport. So I think the level of play has elevated. I think that institutions have put more time and resources into it, which clearly only makes each program better each year.
And with, as you said, nearly your entire roster back from last year, what are your goals for the Patriot League race this season?
Well, we want to be top 4 when all is said and done on that last weekend. Lafayette hasn't been in the Patriot League tournament since 2002, I think, and that was only the second year of the tournament, so certainly that's a goal as a team that we want to make sure that we aspire to. If you think about it in terms of wins and losses, a lot of times three wins get you in. 4 pretty much guarantees it. So as we go into our regular season, we want to approach each game and make sure that we have the advantage in enough of them where we can afford ourselves an opportunity to be there, because once you're there, you have the opportunity to compete for a championship, which these kids haven't achieved yet, but clearly as a coaching staff, we know that it's important to them, their experience, and it's now become embedded in our culture, because that's where we're focused on going. So certainly this year, we want to make sure that our win-loss percentage increases. We're hoping to be right around 500, if not a little better, and we're hoping if the same translates into the league, that'll put us in one of the top 4 positions for postseason.